There's going to be competition. There's always competition in any business you have. If you think the 3D printing business is fierce, you should see the drop shipping competition or any of the local business competition. Like how many contractors do you have? How many landscapers do you have in your city right now fighting for the same yards, right? And there are tons of yards, and there will be tons of people that buy from each landscaping service, and you have to differentiate yourself from your competition. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, I am Ryan. Me and my wife Amanda have a 3D printing business where we vlog about almost weekly. So today we went back on TikTok after being off for about 4 days because we had an event Friday, we had an event Saturday, so we weren't able to go live. And then I just didn't have any product Sunday to go live. So we have gotten 2 new printers Sunday, and now I'm at a total of 7 printers, and we are moving. I have refilled most of the table, didn't put the tablecloth back on, but I've refilled most of the table, and so the shop is looking decent. Still gotta do minis, get the minis back in stock, but I don't have an event for another week and a half, so I've got time. And the live today was slightly abysmal, but just coming back. We mentioned Discord a few times and got our shop taken away, so don't do that, but it is back, and I think we're slowly recovering. We had good numbers as far as attendance, just didn't have the numbers as far as orders, but we did have a lot going into carts for later. So I think it's just a matter of probably payday or something else. Yeah, hopefully we can get most everything back in stock and start focusing on some more newer stuff that we want to bring to the shop that we've had some requests for, and some newer designs. Also, side note, chopped off half my beard, didn't mean to, so there's that. It is Friday night, and Amanda just got done with her live. It was a pretty good live, so I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to kind of go over our process of what we do after the live. I don't think I've shown that yet. And so basically I have Amanda print all the labels on the Munbin 403B, and you can find the link in the description below for that. That's what we've been using to basically print all of our shipping labels, all of our fragile stickers, all of our packing slips, and just all of any sticker we print, really. So even our bags at events, we put stickers on the bags of our events. They have little QR codes for them to find us on either TikTok or Shopify, either on TikTok or Shopify, I can't remember which. But yeah, so we just use it for pretty much everything. It's been awesome. But figured I'd walk you through the process of printing the labels off, kind of show you that, how Amanda does it from her phone, and then how, I go get them, it prints out, and then I'll pull the product and get them ready for Amanda to actually package them up and ship them out.
So I'm gonna go in here and print the packing slips through my Munbin printer. I've got it on a 4x6 label. And so I print out each of the labels for the orders, and then we come back inside the house and I pull each of those orders. So that's kind of our process. Then we take them outside and we pack those orders. But I will say it is super helpful to be able to do it this way. That way we kind of minimize any type of errors when we're pulling orders. We have a way to double check by the packing slip, so it's super helpful. So we've packed all the orders up via the packing slips, put the product inside,
each Tupperware. And I've got 4 inside that need to have product made for it because we have new aquariums out that I have to make products for. And then we had 2 that Amanda already boxed up or put in envelopes for our giveaways. But from here, what she'll do is she'll go print the packing slips from the Munbin printer we have and actually pack the orders up and put the labels on them. Also wanted to mention that Munbin has an online editor, and so you can actually go to editor.munbin.com. So if you have the printer, specifically the 403B, like we do, then you can actually use this to print your labels as well. And so Amanda uses the app, the mobile app, but you can also get on your computer if you prefer that. And so I just figured I'd just give you a little kind of a demo of it. And so basically they've got template libraries here where you can pick templates. You've also got just this straight editor where you can go in, and I've already loaded this one up, but we've also had in the past, we've done our QR code for our store shop that we put on our bags. At events, we've also done, I think Amanda has a warning, contents will cause joy or can cause joy that she puts on our boxes. And of course, shipping labels, packing slips, and all that I just showed. So yeah, and it's pretty simple. Like you can just go in here, you can edit, you can delete things. And if you do like this one, you pull it in, and then you can actually take these and move them how you want. Rotate them. You can delete them if you don't like them. So some of like the little icons, if you don't like it, you can delete it. They've got square stickers. They've got circular stickers that you can do. So yeah, and then of course up here you can go to, different stickers or labels. And so if you have, so right now I've got the 4x6 or 6x4s for our shipping labels in there, so I can just print one of these. And this would be pretty good for, our fragile boxes. So I actually probably just print that one. But as you can see, they've got a bunch. They've got a QR code scanner or a QR code, barcode. And so a lot of these templates you can use and just can go in here and you can edit all of this, right? If I don't like how it's sitting, I can move it around. I can add new elements in here as well. So say I didn't like that, and I can do, we can actually just put one of these in here. Off we go, right? And just drag it in and put it in, blow it up, however we want to do it, right? So really cool stuff. You can delete your stuff, save it, send it, to, I think you can, copy the link, send an email, and you can download the PDF and print it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. There we go. I'm just going to print one of these to our printer. So I'm connected to Bluetooth. I've got the 403B so I can print with Bluetooth. And what I'll do is hit print. Find the printer. There it is. Looks like it's good. I'm just going to print one. And we're going to Bluetooth print. So yeah, it's as simple as that. And it's complete. So I'll go out there and kind of show you guys in a minute. But it's as simple as that. And the Munbin printer that we have has been a workhorse for us. Our orders are picking up, so we're constantly getting new orders in. I think as of the recording of this particular video right now, we had a 15 order day today. So we printed 15 packing slips, and Amanda printed 15 shipping labels. So, and that thing is just chugging along. So highly recommend it. We haven't had any issues out of ours, and like I said, you can links down in the description if you're interested in using our link to get it. Helps out the channel. And if you prefer, you can just go to Munbin, right, and get it here. They've got it. Oh, wrong one. They've got it right here. So they've got a few different printers you can check out. You can also check them out on Amazon. So this is the current setup in my office. I have 2 P1Ss on an old desk that we have, and then my other P1S and the Cobra S1 on the more flimsy office desk that I have, and then of course the A1 that's over there just kind of hanging out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the S1 I'll put it in the kitchen on the floor because that table is not as sturdy as it needs to be to keep it going. So I need to get racks for these, and I think that's going to be the next purchase, either this week or next. And as of right now, here is the kitchen. I have the two A1s in here for these are the first A1s I bought, and they are sitting on the breakfast table that we have. So I'm probably also going to get a rack and put it on the wall right there. So all right, so I had to stop the left A1 over here because it was plugged into the wall instead of the surge protector, which should have been the surge protector, but I apparently forgotten to plug it into that. So move that. I did pause the print, but it looks like it did not work. It scratched the print up, and then you can kind of see the little indentions trying to get that off. So I'm just gonna print some more. It's some bearded dragon tails. So I'm gonna print some more, and I think that'll just fix that. But yeah, I may have to, obviously next print I'll have to clean the plate if it doesn't get it up. It's just the PLA that's stuck on there, so it should come up. And I have moved the Cobra S1 onto the floor. It is currently downloading an update, or I guess it just started. I gotta restart the printer. It's a pain to get to, but for now I think it'll work because I need eggs for this next event, because our next event is in like 4 or 5 days. 5 days, 6 days. So wanted to jump on real quick and address some things I've been seeing online, mainly on TikTok, but I think I've seen one video where somebody discussed it on YouTube. And so basically, as I'm scrolling through TikTok, I found a couple people saying things like, they took some advice from online, and that they had heard that dragons were no longer a thing. People were getting pissed off because all they saw were dragons at events, and so they went to this con or this event and didn't take their dragons, and they had people coming up to their booth asking for dragons and wondering where their dragons were, because they always had brought dragons to this particular event apparently. And then they said obviously there are other vendors there with dragons, and so they lost out on sales because they didn't take their dragons again. You have to know your audience. You have to know what your audience wants. Amanda and I have gotten away from doing dragons because our audience, while we've sold dragons, they're not our best sellers. And so instead of wasting time on making dragons, I can, use that time wisely and actually use, print minis. I can print the flexies. I can print the fidgets that we sell and that we sell out of constantly, versus, having 1 or 2 printers dedicated for dragons and then trying to play catch up for all the flexies, right? And I've also noticed that on TikTok, at least with us, because of our audience, that when the minute somebody asks for dragons or Amanda starts showing a dragon, we start losing our audience. Our numbers drastically go down. And I'm talking like 20 to 30 people on the live. And so I think, I do think people are kind of burnt out on dragons, but it's your audience. You have to know your audience. If your target audience loves dragons, then do dragons. Like, make sure you're taking dragons. It just comes down to knowing your business and knowing, what your customers like. You can test the waters, throw a dragon or two out there if you're not doing dragons, and see if anybody bites. And if they jump on it and they love it and they keep asking for it, then definitely start doing dragons. So, and I also watched another video last night that I came across as I was scrolling, that the guy was closing down his shop. He had spent so much money on personal credit cards and trying to keep his business up and running, and that he just couldn't keep up. So he was selling. He couldn't keep up with the influx of 3D printers that are coming in to the space, because things are getting so much easier to print. And then the multicolor printers, and it's just a plug and play. You click a button and it prints it, which is not true. However, he felt that it was time for him to move on, start a new chapter in his life. I'm going through puberty again. And he was selling his products 50% off the next live that he did. And he was selling his printers, his filament, all that stuff. He's been in business for 3 years. And so I would say, one, either he didn't focus on building his audience up, and realizing, hitting his target market and really diving in to like really targeting his audience and who he was selling to, and also figuring out which product he needed to sell. He mentioned that it was a race to the bottom now because of all the new printers. I'm a new printer. I'm a new business in that we've been around for about 9 months in this space. Little background, I'd printed, I had been 3D printing for years. Had an old Sidewinder, excuse me, had an old Sidewinder, had an Ender 3, and then just broke out the Ender 3 again last year in October for the little one that we have to show her kind of, hey, this is cool. It kind of makes things, right? We can make some toys. And then she took that over to her sister's house, and her sister said, hey, I can take that to work and sell those. And she did. Just coincidentally happened to be a dragon. And so when she sold it, or she sold a bunch of them, and then we ended up going, hey, this, I think we could probably actually do this as a business. We've had several businesses in the past that have failed, specifically because mindset, and we just were like, what, this isn't working, we're getting. And hindsight, had we just stuck with it, stayed in it, that business probably would have succeeded. And I was impatient. I'm still kind of impatient, but I was impatient. I didn't see the numbers I wanted to see. And so we decided, let's just cut our losses and get out. I've done that with probably 5 or 6 businesses. So my mind, and it has taken this long, 4 or 5 years to get to the point to where I'm like, my mindset's like, we're staying in this, like this is it, this is what we are doing. There's gonna be competition. There's always competition in any business you have. If you think the 3D printing business is fierce, you should see the drop shipping, the drop shipping competition, or any of the local business competition. Like you how many contractors do you have? How many landscapers do you have in your city right now fighting for the same yards, right? And there are tons of yards, and there will be tons of people that buy from each landscaping service, and you have to differentiate yourself from your competition. And I think that's what's happening here. I think a lot of people that have had businesses for 2 or 3 years just kind of jumped on the train when it was hard to do. They figured out that, hey, I can print this stuff. It's hard to do, so there's not a lot of competition, and so I can jump in and do it. The thing now is, if you have been doing this for 2 or 3 years, and again, not knocking anybody, but if you have been doing this for 2 or 3 years, you should have a competitive advantage, right? You should be on top of the world right now because you have refined your processes. You have figured out which printers you need, all the growing pains that these new printers, new businesses, 3D printing businesses that have popped up, like mine and Amanda's, since we started in October, we're having to go through. Like, I'm having to figure out, okay, how do we scale this, and how can we scale this quickly? Because we are, believe it, I mean, like it or not, we're selling out of everything, and I have to keep up, right? Where am I going to put these printers? All this good stuff. Where do I get filament from that's cost effective? Where do I get a tripod so I don't have to keep holding it up and talking to the camera with my shoulders going out? Things like that. But yeah, and again, not knocking him, not knocking any of them. I mean, it's all a learning experience, right? But if you are in this space and you're trying to sell things, really anywhere, it doesn't matter if you're doing affiliate marketing. It doesn't matter if you're, selling landscaping. It doesn't matter if you're selling 3D printed items. You have to know who your target audience is, dial in on that, double down on it, and just sell to those people. And I think that's a lot of it, is people are just trying to sell everything to everyone. Said all that to say, and that was long-winded, said all that to say, know your target audience as you build your businesses, know what products your target audiences are after, and just grind. So wanted to hop on here and do a quick recap for the weekend. It's Monday now. So for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got 26 orders coming in from TikTok Live, and which was about $750 or so in sales. Again, that's not profit, that's sales, that's our revenue. That's that does include shipping, that does include taxes, and that doesn't take into consideration the filament costs and all that good stuff. So yeah, very good weekend. It kind of surprised me, if we're being honest, because I did not, for whatever reason, didn't expect it, didn't feel like that was the case, but it is. So pretty cool. We've got an event coming up this Saturday. I've still got some minis that are out of stock. I need to restock those, and I've got the Cobra S1 moved into the kitchen now on the floor so that I can start doing eggs on it because I need eggs. We're almost out. I think I've got like 10. We sold out of pretty much everything on the last event. We are grinding along. The table's looking still a little bare. Still a little better. We have 7 printers now. And I still am having trouble keeping up, which is a great problem to have, not complaining at all. So I think that's gonna do it for this video. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you liked this video or found anything helpful, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us out on YouTube. Helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, and we appreciate it. See you next video.